From military to in a business world, how that journey has been for you.
Yeah, good question. I think it's a really stark transition from the military world into entrepreneurship, but I think there are so
Hmm.
many transferable skills that come
Yeah.
from a military education. We came up with an idea, and it was based on personal experience of a way
Hmm.
to control music during sport. So I was on a skiing trip. The story goes that my friend very selfishly
Right.
injured himself on day 3. He tore his ACL, which was inconsiderate of him
Hmm.
because it meant I had to ski by myself. So I started listening to music and podcasts. Yeah, I mean, there's some fantastic products out there, and looking at
Hmm.
the growth of rings as a segment within wearables, it's been huge. It's supposedly the smart ring segment is growing at some 25% per year within
Yeah.
a wider wearable growth rate of some 15% per year. And yeah, it's always exciting to see new products being launched all the time. Yeah, I think tech is really exciting.
Hello everyone, my name is Ali. I'm the CEO of Al-Burraq Technologies, and today we have another tech star with us, Paul Blair. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing really well. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for joining, and it's been great that you have joined us. Someone from it's the first time someone from a wearable company has joined us. So thank you so much.
Great to be here.
Okay, Paul, it would be great if you can introduce yourself so that our audience can connect with you.
So, yep, Paul Blair. I'm based in the UK. I spent 20 years in the British Army as a paratrooper. I then moved into the corporate world, spent 5 years running the innovation and marketing teams for a large multinational, but realized that I was going to be happier probably running my own business. And so left and launched my first startup. And I'm now in my fourth startup, which is ArcX, the wearable tech
Hmm,
company that
hmm.
brings us to this conversation.
Right, right, right. From military to in a business world, how that journey has been for you.
Yeah, good question. I think it's a really stark transition from the military world into entrepreneurship, but I think there are so
Hmm.
many transferable skills that come
Yeah.
from a military education. In the army, we were continually short of time, sleep,
Hmm.
resources, and I think that the resilience you learn from
That's
operating
nice.
and just having to continue and achieve the mission no matter what, I think lends itself really
Hmm.
well to
Hmm.
the entrepreneurial world. And I know so many colleagues and other people who have spent some time in the military just love, I suppose, the uncertainty, the flexibility that comes from running your own business.
Right. When you talk about these important lessons you learned during the training, you do learn some lessons or you develop some habits which are not good for the businesses. For example, in the military, you have to be straight. When you're dealing with the customers, you don't always have to be straight. Sometimes you have to strategize, sometimes you have to do many things which are not straight. So this is just an example. So have you faced any challenges like that as well?
No, I think the main challenges have been, as I said, resilience is a great transferable skill. The fact that you've got to have a flexibility of approach, so things will always go wrong. There will always be obstacles to overcome. There will be unexpected challenges. People make mistakes all day long, and I think the ability to be able to recognize that, expect that it's going to happen, not lose your mind or get too stressed
Hmm.
when it does happen, just accept that it's part of the process and come up
Right.
with plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, come up with plan C, but just continue to make it happen. I think maybe the one downside of being in the military is that it's such a huge institution. Um, Everything is provided for you. And so when you do start your own business, you don't have the support of a larger organization.
Yes.
You're on your own, particularly in a small team. If you're a solopreneur, that's even worse, which was my first startup
Right.
just after, not long after leaving the army. And I made every mistake it was possible to make and some more. I think when
Hmm.
you've
Hmm.
got a co-founder or a small team to start with, that makes life easier because you can share those challenges and talk
Hmm.
about the
Hmm.
stresses
Hmm.
and come up with a plan and get on with it.
I'm thinking about your challenges and I'm enjoying because we all have been through these things.
Yeah, for sure. But I think, one of the joys for me of running my own business is that no 2 days are the same, and one
Yes,
email,
yes,
one
yes, yes.
phone call can change the
Mm,
whole trajectory of the day, the week, the month, whether it's good news, a new order.
mm, mm.
So yeah, that I
And
suppose that chaos is can be exciting.
yeah, and that is the most important thing of entrepreneurs as well, that their resilience enables them that they come out of every challenge they face. So that is the most important thing as well, that whenever there is a challenge they are resilient toward that. uh, so, Paul, if I ask you to tell us more about, because you have developed a very good tech, wearable tech ring, so you have to tell us about that so that we can learn about that and we can ask you more questions about that.
Of course, thank you. Yes, so we came up with an idea, and it was based on personal experience of a way
Hmm.
to control music during sport. So I was on a skiing trip. The story goes that my friend very selfishly
Right.
injured himself on day three. He tore his ACL, which was inconsiderate of him
Hmm.
because it meant I had to ski by myself. So I started listening to music and podcasts, but I wasn't able to control the music or even the volume. So invariably, I would have to stop, take a glove off, reach inside my jacket, take out my phone to play or pause music, skip a track, or adjust the volume. And that was the original idea, but it became clear that it's such a big point of friction for so many people controlling music when voice control doesn't work. Perhaps they're out of
Hmm.
breath,
Hmm.
or maybe they're traveling at speed and there's lots of ambient wind noise, or if they're using both hands to say cycle, kayak, or ski. So that's where the idea came from. We wanted a wearable that would enable users to very quickly control music in those
Right.
type of situations. But it's gone way beyond that. So we spent 4 years developing the product. We launched last year, and we found that users are buying the product to control all manner of other devices because it's based on a Bluetooth
Hmm.
connectivity.
Hmm.
Customers are using it to control TVs, laptops. It makes a great little hands-free presentation clicker, AR, VR
Oh, nice.
headsets, audiobooks, the Kindle app. So any Bluetooth device our Ring will connect to and enable
And
the.
yeah, and I think in the health as well, in the healthcare, there's a lot of scope for that in the fitness applications, because we have developed a fitness application in which we integrated Bluetooth straps, heart rate monitors, right, which you can wear it on your arm or on your chest. We integrated watches, which we read heart rate through those devices, and we use that heart rate in the during the training sessions. So I think there is a lot of scope for the ring as well.
Yes, this is just our first product, so it's I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's designed to be worn on your index finger and controlled
Yeah,
with your
yeah, yeah.
thumb. So it gives you this hands-free ability to control other devices, and
Right.
we're looking at, as part of our product roadmap, integrating with other devices. You mentioned heart rate
Hmm.
monitors. Bizarrely, one of those slightly niche use cases is we're talking to a product manufacturer in the equine world. They make heart rate monitors for horses, and the rider has no way of controlling that unless it's through an app on their phone. So they want to use a version of our hardware to control those heart rate monitors. So yeah, there's lots of scope for integration.
Right, right, right. That makes a lot of sense, and I can see that you're gonna be doing that a lot in the near future, because I think the future belongs to wearables, and especially the rings and the glasses. I strongly believe that, because they are going to control the tech.
Yeah, I mean, there's some fantastic products out there, and looking at
Hmm.
the growth of rings as a segment within wearables, it's been huge. It's supposedly the smart ring segment is growing at some 25% per year within
Yeah.
a wider wearable growth rate of some 15% per year. And yeah, it's always exciting to see new products being launched all the time. Yeah, I think tech is a really exciting space to be in.
Right, 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 right. And if you mind if I ask you that, you do have the military background, are you going to sell all this data to agencies?
No, not at all. Military was a big part of my life. It was
Yeah,
an amazing career, but no, I've left all of that behind. No, where it's so important to us to maintain customer privacy.
right.
So any customer data is locked down. It's not shared. We're not selling it to anyone else. No, that's nothing.
Please,
We're not going to do
please,
that.
please don't do that.
No, we are not interested in doing that.
That sounds so good. Okay, if we talk about the AI and ML, how your
Mm.
product is going to be aligned with the coming challenges, because AI is transforming the whole world. AI is transforming the whole scenarios, use cases. So how you are going to align your ring with the upcoming challenges?
So our hardware is designed to work right out of the box. You don't need an
Yes.
app to
Hmm.
wear it or control it, but we have an app and it gives customers a lot of additional features and benefits.
Hmm.
For
Hmm.
example, there's a
Hmm.
built-in SOS function, so
Right.
customers can configure that. However, the next milestone we're working on is using AI and ML to create an algorithm that will filter the user's playlist with a view to improving physical performance. Now, it's very subjective. Clearly, whatever music you listen to, if you enjoy music during sport or fitness, is very different to what other people will listen to. So it's got to be based on the genre of the music the user likes. But
Right.
when you start to match the
Hmm.
heart
Hmm.
rate of the user to the beats per minute and the tempo of the music, even the amount of lyrics, there's a lot of really exciting science based on sports psychology is that when you match those within certain parameters, you get like a psychological boost and it can improve physical performance by up to 15%. So we're working on an algorithm. We're about 3 months away from launching that, and we think that's going to be really exciting for customers to try.
Right, right, right. That makes a lot of sense. And I wish you good luck for that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, we think it's going to be a first. The likes
Hmm.
of Spotify and Apple Music clearly provide
Right,
personalized
right,
playlists,
right,
but ours
right.
is going to be hyper personalized and, as I say, based on customers' biometrics. And when it will get better over time, clearly. But when, for example, if you're going for a run and you get served up a song, if you use our ring to skip past that song, the algorithm will
Hmm.
recognize that and get better over time. And so, yeah, we're excited to see where that goes.
Hopefully, we are gonna see that soon. Okay, you must have faced a lot of problems in your journey. So, if I ask you that, what were the most toughest problems you have faced in your entrepreneurial journey? How would you define that? How would you recall that?
That's a tough question. I think I've made, like I said, when I launched my first startup, I was a
Hmm.
solopreneur. It was my first business, and I think I was, yeah, definitely naive coming out of the army in my late 30s, and just so unfamiliar with the business world. Coming from an environment where trust is just part of day-to-day
Hmm.
business. You've got to
Hmm.
trust your colleagues and those you work with.
Yes.
I naively trusted everyone. Now, there's a lot of amazing, genuine, really good people that are out there,
Hmm.
and we've got a network of people we do business with. But the first contract I signed with a manufacturing company, yeah, just totally ripped me off. I think it played on my naivety, but I mean that was just one mistake of many. I
Right,
suppose
right.
to sort of summarize the issues, it's um, with teams, it's being aligned at the start and making sure that everyone is clear on where they're going, the vision of the
Hmm.
company, and getting all for example, the shareholding and vesting, all those, I suppose, little aspects. Certainly, where the financials of the business are concerned, is get that signed, done, out of the way, so you never have to talk about it, because
Right.
yeah, arguments can follow, particularly when the business either has a huge success
Hmm.
or starts to have problems. Um, so does that answer your question? I suppose one is about naivety and not having blind trust in everyone automatically. I suppose my other point would be is if you're working with a team, is make sure everyone is properly aligned, nothing is
Yeah.
left as an assumption, but everything is in black and white.
No, normally this happens. The trust factor. Normally this happens when you are choosing a tech team. So it is so common that people do trust tech teams blindly and they rip them off. So it happens a
Yeah.
lot in the tech business. So I can second that because many people come to us and they say the same things, that they have been totally ripped off by the tech teams. And I hope people will come out of that.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, trust I think has got to be earned sometimes, particularly when you
Yeah.
are starting a new business partnership with a
Hmm.
tech company or any other company. Um, but it's yeah, and it's got to be earned. But I've never understood just that short-term thinking of as a company providing services of why you
Yes,
would want
yes,
to
yes,
try and
yes.
rip someone off for some short-term
Yes.
profit because it
Hmm.
is never going to do you any favors, particularly with bad reviews or people will talk to each
Totally agree
other.
with that. Totally agree with that. Totally agree. Because I tell people that if the company I'm working with, if they're going to be successful, I'm going to be successful. Because if their product hits the market and it is a successful product, they're going to give us more services. That's more
Sure.
business. So
Yeah.
why would you want to rip them off? Because that is an ongoing business you need.
Yeah, exactly. It brought me a little bit of comfort to see that that company I mentioned that ripped me off went out of business about a year after I stopped doing business with them, and
Hmm.
the two owners, two brothers, both ended up facing legal action from someone else. So I think that
Hmm.
yeah, just showed the what you get from short-term profiteering and
Yeah.
trying to rip off your customers.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I second that. And to my people, to my team, you have the clear message. Please don't do that.
But I
Okay.
think maybe that
Yeah.
that sounds a little bit pessimistic to any of your listeners, but I would probably caveat that with there are so many amazing customers, companies out
Hmm.
there, so many fantastic people you do business with, and I think very quickly once that trust is established, you get that really good relationship, and when you find
Exactly.
someone that you enjoy working with on a
Hmm.
partnership basis, yeah,
So
you stick with them.
because I'm at the other end, I'm at the service providers end. So let me tell you what happens exactly. So the culture transfers from top to bottom. If the bosses at the top are telling this to their employees, to the team members, that you do not have to rip them off because this is an ongoing business. If they are successful, this thing does not happen. But when they say that you just have to make profits, the teams do not care. Teams do not care about that, and they will just rip them off whenever they get a chance. So this has to be come from the top, that this thinking should not prevail, that some agreement has been signed and
Yeah,
they just have to fulfill that. So
yeah, for
this
sure.
thing has to come from the top.
Yeah, totally. And I suppose that's beholden on company owners to
Hmm.
make sure that that level of integrity and
Yeah.
transparency is passed down and embraced by everyone on their teams.
Yeah, I agree. So in the last call, if I ask you to give some advice to the aspiring entrepreneurs, how would you like to explain that?
I would say that if you find something that you enjoy, if you've got a good idea that you think has got value and ultimately that people will pay for, so there's got to be that, I suppose, validation for your business idea, be it a product or service. If you find something that you're passionate about, is yeah, go for it. I think probably the biggest challenge I had was considering leaving a well-paid corporate job to jump back
Nice.
into the startup world.
Okay.
But for me, it was just the challenge of creating something out of nothing and developing a product that people would enjoy and get value from has just been fantastic. And when you look back, all the challenges and problems that you faced, I think they all uh, disappear in the rearview mirror and you kind of focus on the excitement. And even now, every time we get a piece of customer feedback, a customer says how much they enjoy our product, it means the world to us. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that reinforces the
Right,
value of
right,
what we
right.
do.
Right, right, right. That makes a lot of sense. I hope the people are going to learn a lot from this short conversation between you and us. And I thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. And to the people, keep watching so that we can keep bringing more tech stars to your screen.